everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I'm here today with episode 12 of the flea market style Traveler's Notebook make-along. Sorry it's been a few days. I've had several other things on the go, but we are clamping back down on this project. So let's go to today's spread and see what we're doing. So today's spread is the 10th page layout of the book. So what I'm using is some form of a card, a greeting card. This one just happens to be a nice tall one that's like the same, shape of my Traveler's Notebook, but you could use all sorts of different kinds of cards. So this is kind of about using up your cards. If you have a wider card, you can cut it down. If you have one of those lovely vintage envelope style cards that are like folded, you could make pockets in the top of it. Like there's a lot of different kinds of cards that you can find a creative use for. I'm also looking to use the envelope that comes with the card as a flip out. So there's some different elements in this. We have a tuck spot. We're using something from one of our many field guides, using either a sticker or some kind of a fussy cut from our collection of those, some kind of a playing card, or I've used a tarot card here. Do some stamping. You can do some stenciling, a little bit of collage. So let's break this down. So here is the journal that I am making with you. Hold on. Right here, and I'll just set our prototype aside here. So I've already got a few things that I want to use for this. So this is the page from the field guide that I've chosen. I'm going to go with these lovely crows. And then here's my card. I chose this from a White Sage Tarot deck, the Knight of Swords. You could use a playing card, just any kind of a fun card that you have. You could even make a little piece of ephemera for this. So the important part of the construction here is that basically you have this greeting card, okay, and you're going to cut it to some size that works in your journal. So for me, the inside is blank, but then on back we have this whole write up about the artist or the picture. So the basic construction is this: you take your envelope. Now these ones came with this nice floral pattern on, but I recommend that you maybe do something like this with a stencil. It honestly looks like a stencil, right? So I would go ahead and take that, put your envelope inside your card. Now it's going to be a little bit bigger, right? Because the card's designed to fit inside the envelope. So just the two sides have the same equal amount of space on either side, keeping in mind that this width has to fit inside your journal and not poke out the top and bottom. So then push it this direction so that the bottom of the envelope is lined up to the center of the card. The center of the card is what we're going to bind into our signature. So now, where you have the glue on the flap here, that's what we're going to attach down to the back of the card. Typically the spot where there's like the copyright information or the writing about the card on the back. So we're just going to glue this down. So till it's nice and sealed. And then we open it up, and what we've created now is a flip out pocket. Just give it a little smooth here to make sure there's no excess glue sticking out, okay? But there shouldn't really be. So that is that. Now, the next step is to just ink all around this to kind of give it a little bit of aging, because this is not vintage. This is a new card, and it's pretty bright. So where did I put my inker? I have been reorganizing my desk, and we know how that goes, right? It doesn't always go so well. I'll have to find it, but I'm just going to use my brush here and just kind of go around and do some inking around all the edges. I'm going to go around the edge of the envelope too. It's giving me a little bit more of a round kind of look than what I desire, but that's okay. In lieu of my lost inker. Oh, here it is. It's right here. Okay. Now I should also be using something underneath my page so that I don't get ink all over my sad table here that I just keep staining a little bit more all the time. It's okay. Okay, so I want to do like a bit of a heavy ink kind of in some spots. It just makes it look a little more natural. So there's the inside. Now let's do the outside. And go down the envelope both sides here. Okay. There we go. We're all inked around now, I think. Yep. Okay. So now we're done with this. Okay, so now I'm going to flip the envelope back in, close the card up, and what I want to deal with now is the back side of this. I want to make this some journaling space. So I'm just going to do that with some scrap paper from my scrap paper bin here. I think I have some paper bag packaging that I'll use up. Just cut a piece of paper bag. And then I'll get a general idea of the width is fine, I think. Yep. And then I'll just fold it at the bottom here until we have like a little amount at the bottom of space so that this properly covers this whole back side of so. And then we will just liberally glue this down because it's packaging paper. It does need a little bit more, like give it a little more glue to let it soak in. I find packaging paper it needs a little bit more glue. You could use art glitter glue for this. That would, definitely be quicker, but well, not really quicker, just, I don't know, it's easier. Some people find it easier. I don't really mind either way. Okay, so then let's lay this down so that we cover all the text. Smooth it out so we don't have wrinkles, we don't overshoot the edges of anything here. Okay. Alright, so now we've covered the back. Okay, so looking good. Now, to finish up the back, I just want to put some kind of either like a fussy cut image or a sticker or something. So in the spirit of using things up, I want to choose something from the Antiquarian sticker book because I think it's like there's a lot of very random stickers in here, and this is a good time to use those kind of random stickers that you wouldn't use somewhere else because of the fact it's a flea market style kind of, a bit of randomness, so you can use something that you wouldn't use elsewhere. So I'm going to go with this little strange looking rat kind of person and that's what I'm going to use here because it's going to look great. It's going to fit the theme, and you'll see it's going to be fun. So next I'm going to make the journal card with the piece of field guide. So you could use any kind of field guide, like a flower one, a bird one. I particularly have like a ton of bird books, so I'm trying to use those up. I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper here. It's just a piece of mixed media paper, and that's what I'll back this with. So I'm just going to cover it in glue and then pop it on here. And then I'm just going to leave a little bit of a border around it. Just size it to your envelope. I just think it looks a little nice with a bit of border. And just give it a press to seal it down. And then just check that it fits inside your envelope. Mine does. Okay, we're good. Okay. So next step is we want to do a bit of stamping. So let me grab, where did I put my prototype? Maybe back inside the journal where it came from? No. Here it is. Okay, so as you see here, I used a stamp up here and a stamp down here. So I'm going to use 2 stamps in the same kind of way. Let me grab my stamp block. And the stamps that I'm going to use are mushrooms for this one. So I will grab the first one, just pop it on my stamp block here. Okay, and then we will go ahead and ink up our stamp. Okay. Then just make sure that you are right side up. So check your image, making sure you're right side up before you stamp. Then I'm going to go in the upper left hand corner. There's one. And then I will choose another one. I like this one a lot. You can use whatever stamps you like. And one thing you might notice is that on any kind of a shiny paper like this card is, the stamp's going to take a little bit longer to dry. So I'm going to go kind of in the center bottom here. So just give it a little bit of time to dry. Okay. All right, so now that's done. Pop our stamp away over here. And just do a little tidy up here. There we go. Okay, so now we can do the step of putting our tarot card or our playing card on here with a rusty paper clip or any kind of clip that you like. Pop it on there. That's done. Then what we're going to do is some kind of a nice scrap paper collage here. So as you see, I did this here. And that's really the last step, believe it or not. This is a pretty easy spread, but I think it's nice. So what I'm going to do with this one is I've got this bit of like black map. And I will glue that down. I'll just line the straight edge up with the straight edge. I think that looks nicer. I'll just glue this down. And then I have a little bit of old handwriting from an old book. Just kind of collage that on top. And you can choose if you want a focal point or if you just want this to be kind of a scrappy collage. I'm just kind of grabbing from my little scrap pile. So I've got this little bit of bird book right here, and I think I might just trim the image a little. And I'll use that in my collage. So behind the scenes, I'm actually making several more of these journals. Like after I finish this one, I'm going to work on all the other ones on my own time, kind of. And some of them I've done a focal point and others I haven't. So it's not 100% necessary. Okay, so rid of our glue page. Now, I think this is all dry, but you can, if it still looks a little shiny in places, you can use your heat gun. I'm just going to take a piece of paper, just scrap paper, and just blot against it and see if ink comes up. A little tiny bit did. And now it's not looking really shiny anymore. So let's do the same down here. That one's fine as well. Okay, so we'll close that up. You could do something here if you want. I'm just leaving it as writing space. Then let's put it in our journal. So we're starting to get a little chubbier, but we do still have some more room. We can keep going. We have a couple more pages to go, I think. So we'll pop this in here. So let's see how it looks. So on this side we will have this, and here, and here, and then here. So yeah, I think it's nice. It goes along well. I like that this is a photo and that's a photo, so it's cute. Like it's framed, you know what I mean? So that is our spread for today, and I'm happy with it. I think that we're getting close. We probably have, I'd say, a maximum of about 3 more pages to go, maybe more. We'll see how it all plays out. So that's it for me for today. Thank you so much. If you are just finding this series and you're interested in doing kind of a make-along journal with me in this style, you can find a playlist on my channel. It's called the Flea Market Style Traveler's Notebook Make-Along. So you can go ahead and check that out and make along with me. I begin with the cover and I'm going to go all the way to the final binding and closure of the book. So yeah, that's it for me for now, and you can find all of my social media information down below in the description box. We shall talk again soon. Bye for now.